Open University of Kenya certainly will provide better opportunities for the students. One, an open university will create a lot of flexibility in time and place of learning. An open university will also use modern technology, which is everywhere now, Honorable Speaker. It will also ease pressure on the physical facilities within the university and the higher learning institutions. For instance, when we have university intake, we base our intake on the availability of spaces in the universities, which will not be the case. So with an open university, we shall get away from facilities and spaces within the university determining how many students go to university. Furthermore, it removes the idea of reducing the cost of education, because much of the cost of university is courtesy of beddings and boarding. Remember, Honorable Speaker, I'm one of the advocates of removal of boarding schools, not only just at the university level, but even in the high schools, that we should do away with the boarding section so that we reduce the cost of education. And I see an opportunity under which the Open University will provide that situation whereby we shall reduce the cost of education. But I also wish then to indicate that the Committee of Education must come in to work together with the Committee of Delegated Business, because we need to align certain laws, and I'm happy that the pseudo vice chair of this committee is here, Mr. Ruko. There are certain laws that do not accept the degrees that are earned by certain universities, possibly including this type of university, with the system in Kenya. So we shall need to actually realign our laws so that the degrees that come from this type of university is accepted. Of course, with the charter, that should be a step forward. Because how many times do we see our students go to Uganda, go outside, do status of the Kenyan degree, and therefore they don't get employment. Honorable Speaker, many students have suffered this, wasted a lot of money going to universities outside. When they came back, they were not able to get job opportunities. I should also be quick to say that it is a very good opportunity to make education to be a forex earner for this country. Because if you go to a place like Boston, as a state, education is funded by simply the universities. What comes in as payment to the universities and comes in as foreign exchange to the country. So this will actually provide an opportunity for Kenya to actually earn foreign exchange from education, and this will be very good, and possibly also export the qualified people outside. And this will be very good for our system. Education should be earning us foreign exchange. I saw one of the members, and good luck is still in the House, on the Bumbui, talk about how education was very well funded during the old times. And I think that was the nostalgia period of when education was a sacred cow. Those are the theories of a man called Todaro, the economist of education, who at that particular time when we got independence, education was still a sacred cow. And being a sacred cow, you went to school in order to be able to get employment which was waiting for you. And people would not even go for university because they would easily get that employment at A level and at O level. But things have really changed, and education is no longer a sacred cow, and possibly that's why boom was removed and things have changed. And that's why we are where we are. I would wish to say that the Open University, for me, will create Kenya and Nairobi as a hub for all other students from outside and around the region to actually learn in this institution and pay us money. I would also wish them to indicate that such a university must then have dollar accounts which are paid in money before they come here, because currently our country is lacking in terms of forex, and that's really what we need. But finally, the threat would be the standardization and the quality of the degrees coming from this university. But I'm not threatened with this, because even without IT, we already have people struggling with papers. You saw when we were going through the elections how papers could become a problem. So let's fix it also using technology, and this will take us way forward in expanding education for our students in this country. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this chance.
Thank you very much, Honorable Omboko. Honorable Catherine Omanyo, member for Busia County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I have looked into this with a grain of salt. Open universities or learning is very good for people who have no time, no choice to sit, just like other younger students who have all the time to be in class. And as we look at both sides of the spectrum, I think there are those who wished to have had the time to be in class just like anybody else, but they don't have, but they have the oomph. They want to continue with upping their levels of education and knowledge, expanding it. So if they can afford to go ahead and get some more skills and knowledge to be promoted even at their workplaces, so be it. Let this be free to whoever can go for it. And this kind of arrangement can also be flexible for people who hardly have time, because I've seen people even reading while in the car. They put those things in the ears and go online and start just getting somebody on the other side giving instructions. And before you know it, by the time they are out of a matatu, they've been learning. So it's not like a system where you must be in a traditional way in a class and listening to a teacher. And then we also see that because it's that flexible, it is more cheaper, it's affordable to compared to this other one, because some of the ways that are used in teaching are actually recorded. So there is no physical trainer or physical lecturer, but those recordings that somebody is given to listen to and make notes and then submit their homework. Also, I've been looking up into it, and then I was like, it is a good way of also just those people who have learned, they learned maybe in those days when things had not changed or the systems of education had not changed. Because if today my father was to resurrect from his grave with all the knowledge he had and the education he had, he would not even come to terms with what we are using today, because mostly it is digital. So for those who want to also catch up with the running world, with the new systems, the new digital ways, this is a very good way of actually expanding and coming up with ways of not looking archaic or analog. And to top on that, for the places that don't have maybe means or ways or internet, Wi-Fi, nowadays I see even people in the villages having Android phones. They afford. So when we worry of places that don't have access to this kind of education, I think our people everywhere, even in the villages, are curious. They want to learn. So even somebody who did not have or had limited education in their life, out of curiosity, even if they are not after getting the degrees, they will just learn some things and beware, because knowledge is power, and that is all we are actually looking into, so that we don't have so many ignorant people or people who just don't care of what is happening, and they'll be part of a solution. Thank you.
The Honorable Tindi Mwale.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support